Hi, welcome back to ODE YouTube channel. Today we are in the day 15 of our Inkvent calendar, and so this is the ink that I'm going to present you today. So let's open it. This one was easy. Now let's take it out. And it was kinda easy also. And now let me show you what we have here. It is an ink that is called Festive Cheer and is an ink with sheen. So another blue ink that I need to find a pen to put it into. I have to say I didn't select all the pens ahead, so I will try to match or to think which pens may go better with each ink, and it doesn't mean necessarily that blue ink should go into a blue pen, but it has to make sense to me. I don't know exactly why, but you will see. So don't go away, I'll be right back. Hi again. We are here today with this Festive Cheer, and it is a different ink from what I was expecting of this kind of name. But let's take a look. First, if you like my videos, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Quite important for me. Now, let's take a look at these, the swatch and the chromatography. On the swatch, you can see we have an ink that I would say it is quite dull. It has a purplish blue with a greenish, blackish, it's hard to say, sheen. I would say more kind of black sheen. So it is very simple, and when we talk about cheer, I don't know if I was thinking about this kind of ink. You can see there is some baseline water resistance, but then most of it goes away with water, although it stays on paper, which means it's not fully it's not, how do I say it? It's not water resistant, but it doesn't wash out totally because it remains on paper on all those during all the progression on the paper. Now let's take a look at the comparison with other inks. First, let me show with other brands. The Schiffer Script Turquoise, I've shown this yesterday, and then the Leonardo Turquese Hawaii. So nothing similar between those. Then we'll go to the other blue inks. There are 3 previous blue inks on the Diamine Inkvent Calendar, and they are the blue peppermint, which is a very, very light blue with shimmer. There's nothing in common. Then we have the Polar Glow that I showed you yesterday again, and the Jack Frost, and I would say no, they are not related at all. So this is quite a different ink from those others. Now, before we go to the writing samples, let me just show you the pen that I chose to go with this, and I choose this. This is I went a little more vintage after the Parker Junior Dufold, the jade green that I showed you with the Elf, I think. Now let's go back again, not as back as with the Parker Dufold. We have here the Parker 51 Classic with a teal color, with a very different nib from what I'm used to see, and this is the aromatic filling. Now let's take a look at how this looks on paper. And we have here our moleskin paper, the Oxford paper, and then the Navigator copy paper. And what we have here to see is that when I write with it, even more than with the swatch, it looks like those kind of blue, purplish blue. It's hard to say it better. I would say that this pen has a B nib, but I'm not sure, that's why there is the question mark there. It behaves quite well. It is quite interesting on this ink, because there is no bleeding through, even with a B nib on such a sensitive paper as the Moleskine. So I would say that this ink is really paper friendly. Usually we say that papers are fountain pen ink friendly, but I would say that this ink is paper friendly, which is nice. On the paper, can we see some shading? Yes, there is some. Can we see the sheen? Not on the Moleskine, not on the Navigator, and on the optic paper from Oxford, I would say it's not clearly visible, even with a broad nib. I would call it just shading, not sheening, at least with this pen. And now, let's take a look at the Rhodia paper. So we have here the Rhodia dot pad. The drying time of this ink is so incredibly fast. And I think this is the good part of it, because maybe this is what makes the ink not to bleed into this very hard to use Moleskine paper. About the ink, the water resistance, you can clearly see the line that was first drawn on paper. It's not water resistant, but there is some resistance that may give some readability to the paper if it gets wet after. And now let's see the writing sample with these. I think it's not that usual to see Parker 51 with such a broad nib. Most of mine, I would say, they are fine or extra fine. I have a couple of Parker 51s, and I did never find one like this. And I have to say that I never bought them for the nibs. I bought them for the colors or the finishes, or just for the opportunity of getting one. And so I didn't really care for the size of the nib. So this was like a blind purchase. I bought these many years ago because I liked the color, and I didn't even know the kind of nib it had. And so let's do it. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. So, what is your opinion about this ink? I'm really curious to know what you think. I have to say that it reminds me, and it's not the most positive thing about this ink, it reminds me the color of some ball pen reviews, of some ballpoint pen refills, that's what I meant, and these refills that have this kind of bluish, purplish on paper that I didn't like that much. I don't like blue inks, and I don't love roller balls or even ballpoints. But if they are black or blue, that's okay. But the blue, like purplish, it's not my favorite. I'm curious about what you think about this ink. So please let me know in the comments below, and I will be happy to exchange some opinions with you. So this is all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and tomorrow we will open ink number 16, and we are already more than half the way to the end of this calendar. So, see you tomorrow.